everybody. It is the closing ceremony for the Doggy Olympics. A very exciting time. Woohoo! Fake, imaginary confetti being thrown right now. So we are very excited. This is such a labor of love for all of us, and it's really exciting to get to the end and be able to celebrate all of the canine athletes and their handlers and all of the hard work of our partners, our instructors, our judges, our community. So this is always a fun event. I've got some very special guests with me tonight as well. I've got Monica from Barrington Barks and Behavior, April from Canine Strong, and Michelle from Pause With Me Canine Enrichment and Training. So great to have you guys here. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys later because you all had your own individual competitions. And I know you've all been busy over the last 2 weeks and you've seen all kinds of great things, heard heartwarming stories, have lots of observations to share. So I'm anxious to get into it with all of us. And share all of the wonderful things. So just to give you an idea of what you can expect tonight, we're going to share a recap. We've got great pictures to show you. Many of the pictures you have not seen yet because we saved them for the closing ceremony. We are going to award the competition medals, the individual competition medals. We have 18 of those. And then we have the achievement medals, achievement awards, which are given by the judges and instructors. And then we have our division medal to award. And then we also have bronze, silver, and gold. So we've got a lot to get through tonight. If you have questions at all, let us know. If you have comments, we'll try to filter those in as often as we can. Some of your questions may already be answered as we get into this as well. But let me just flash up one thing for you because I know we're going to have quite a few people watching tonight. And if you are new to our broadcast and you have not yet authorized for us to see your name, which we love to see your name because when we flash up your comment, we like to know who we're talking to. You actually have to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to give permission because it is a third-party app. That way we can see your stuff and know who you are and know who we're talking to. So I'll keep that up there just for a second as we get into this here. We've already got a few comments here. Let's see what we've got. So Ray's checking in. He says, hello, all. We've got Terry checking in with us. Jamie, hello from Team Cody. Cody was a competing athlete this year. He's returning from 2021. We've got Kim checking in, and we've got Paula checking in. Awesome, guys. Wonderful to hear from all of you. Keep the comments coming. Keep the love hearts and the thumbs up coming. And if you're watching on the replay, let us know that you're watching as well and give us that love. We'd love to hear from you. All right. We also have Lorianne checking in and we have Lisa checking in. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. So let's see here. Let's get the presentation going. Do you guys have anything you want to add before we jump into it?
I'm good.
All right.
I just want to know who won.
I know.
I know. Well, I should mention that I am the only person in the whole entire world that knows who won. I like kind of having that secret, and I might kind of drag this out a little bit because it's kind of fun. Unless, Ray comes upstairs and throws something at me. I mean, I suppose that's always possible. So, all right, let me put the presentation here into the screen. Let's see here. All right, perfect. Can you guys see that okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. So again, closing ceremonies, very excited. We have been in competitions for just a little over 2 weeks. And I think of the last 2 weeks, there were only 2 or 3 days where we actually did not have competitions. If you were following our Facebook page, you know how busy we were with competitions. It was a lot of fun. And this is Gypsy here. She was a competitor in our senior division, and she came very festive and decked out for the Urban Pawsathlon. So we thought that would be appropriate here to put on the beginning slide.
Love that.
All right, so Doggy Olympics, they're about more than just winning. And there's some really great heartwarming stories we're going to tell tonight. And it's really what we saw in our athletes. It's what we saw in our judges, our instructors, and in the dogs themselves. They were having fun. The handlers were having fun with their dogs. They were learning and trying something new. They were enjoying the special bonding experience that was being made available for them. They were enjoying all the different activities, many of whom were trying new things for the first time. I loved hearing from the handlers that, wow, I've never tried this before, but this is a great, inexpensive way to try this and see if my dog likes it before I would commit or invest in a 4, 6, or 8-week workshop. And it gave the opportunity to improve skills and expand interests. And this is Nala here with Sarah. She was also in our senior division. This is at April's uh, place of business here in Concord, doing the fun fitness. So I love this picture because Nala looks like she has a huge smile on her face.
Yeah.
So great photos. And I actually don't know. You might have taken this one, April. I don't remember if it was you or me because I know I was there too. But you had a lot of great photos.
Yeah.
And I know they're in this presentation. So.
And you'd never know that Nala was a senior, I'll tell you.
No, not the way she acts. No,
No.
I think she channeled her inner puppy. That's absolutely correct.
Yes, she did. She brought her A game.
Yep. So as you know, as we constantly say, it takes a village to do everything that we do. And the Doggy Olympics is no different. This was a huge investment of time on the part of our instructors, our judges, our host sites, our canine athletes and handlers. We're really grateful for everybody's support. And here's just a few pictures of some of the judges and instructors. We actually did not get pictures of all of them, unfortunately. But you can just see here how much fun they had, the smiles on their face, and just the generosity of their time and their expertise that they donated to this. And I loved working with all the instructors and judges. Their heart was in it. You can tell how much they loved the dogs and how much they loved being a part of this. And it just wonderful. I'm just, so honored to be able to work with all of you guys and all of the new instructors and judges that were part of everything we did this year. So again, a huge thank you to our Gold Bone sponsor, who is Woof Meow Family Pet Center. Not only did they host a number of different events and lend their head trainer to us, Alexia Miller, but they also provided wag bags and giveaways and just financial support. And we're very grateful for all that they did to make these Olympics happen this year. Also, we are very grateful to our instructors and host site sponsors. In all, we had 19 partners that participated, and all of these organizations that you see here hosted events or instructed events. So again, this is the bread and butter. This is the sum of our parts. This is why we're able to do such a fantastic event like the Doggy Olympics every couple of years. So, and again, I always say this, when you are looking where to spend your dollars, please consider the people who support us. They are wonderful organizations. They are wonderful individuals behind the organizations. And I recommend and stand behind all of them 100%. And our guest judges, we had a couple returning from 2021, and we had some new guest judges this year. You'll see them in some of the pictures throughout the presentation tonight, but we appreciate their time and we appreciate the additional reach that they gave us by sharing on their social media profiles as well. Finally, our wag bag and giveaway sponsors. So many of our canine athletes received wag bag filled with all kinds of goodies, toys and food and treats and supplies. And tonight we will be giving away 3 prizes that were donated by our giveaway sponsors that are listed here. So we are grateful for everything that they donated. So just some statistics as I was going through everything and creating this presentation. So this year we had 23 canine athletes. We had 4 specifically competing in our senior division, which were dogs that were 8 years of age or older. We had 14 towns and cities represented from southern New Hampshire up to the Laconia area and from Concord over to the seacoast. We had 3 returning canine athletes from 2021, 19 partners, as I mentioned, to pull all this off. 18 different competitions for the athletes and their handlers to choose from. And 2 hours is the furthest a canine athlete traveled, which I thought was interesting because in 2021, most everybody who competed was local. But we had people coming in as far away as North Wattleboro, Maine, and we had a woman who came down from North Conway as well. So we appreciate them taking the time to travel down and do all their activities. Basically they said there's nothing like this in their area. So I'm glad that they could take the time to come and be a part of all the fun that we were all offering here. So let's do some canine athlete highlights. In case you didn't see our opening ceremony, we want to give some love to these wonderful athletes and the time and investment they took. We know there were some tired pups because we were seeing pictures posted. These guys really came to play and they had a great time. So we had Pepper and Tilly and Orion and Obi-Wan, Rocky, Willow, Scout, and Evie. We had Whiskey and Hanson and Layla May, and Cody was in our senior division. He's returning from 2021. Griffin, Nala was also in our senior division. Gypsy was in our senior division, and Charlotte. And then finally we had Baloo, B, Ryder, Hadley, Tori, who was also in our senior division, Emma, and Trail. Just a wonderful mix of breeds and rescues and ages, temperaments. I always feel really proud when we can work together as partners to provide a safe, welcome, and inclusive experience for all of these dogs. And that's a lot of the feedback that I did hear back from handlers was the positive environment, the inclusivity, and the special arrangements we went to make sure that they could have an experience that they didn't have to worry about, was their dog going to bark or another dog was going to approach, or was a little kid going to run up to their dog while they were entering a pet store. We made sure that they didn't have to worry about those things. And I think of all the events we had, there was only one that was not considered not reactive dog friendly just because of the way the event ran. Otherwise, we were able to make the accommodations necessary for everybody. All right, so let's highlight our competitions here, and I'm going to ask our guests to chime in on their individual competitions as well and tell us a little bit more about it. So first off, we had water fun, and Ashley could not be with us tonight, but this was hosted by You and Your Dog Training and Services down in New Boston. This was a lot of fun, as you can see from the expression on people's faces and the dogs' faces. This was an event that was returning from 2021, and people just had a blast. It was a hot day. The dogs enjoyed the water. Ashley had all kinds of really interesting competitions that not only taught leash handling skills, but was just a fun way to bond with your dog and allow the dogs to just enjoy splashing in the water, playing with toys and things like that. Next, we had the howling competition with Jody Crotty, who's an animal communicator. That's my husband with Jody there too, because he went to judge. And we only had one dog enter that competition. In 2021, we actually had several dogs, but this dog did a wonderful job. And I have a feeling if there were other dogs involved in this competition, Scout still would have taken the ribbon for this one. There was such a cute video that they took that I'd shared on our Facebook page. You could tell he was having a great time, and it was actually perfect for Scout being the only dog because he is reactive, and it was just more of a comfortable situation for him and his handler. One of the events that we had at Wolf Meow Family Pet Center was pool toy retrieval at their Durham location. Such a great spot being able to use their pool. And we had some dogs that really knew what they were doing. That was a hard competition. The dog that won this competition, was basically by only a few points because these dogs obviously had been involved with dock diving or swim in their own pools, but they knew what they were doing. We got some great photos. So we'll be talking about who won that competition in a little bit. Also at Woof Meow, this was the treat toss, and you can see one of our competitors there, Obi, is thinking about his favorite movie. Maybe you can guess what movie he's trying to simulate. I just love that picture. Ray my husband did a great job of capturing some of these little shots there when, people weren't expecting it, but that's just so cute. We had two dogs that competed in this one here. And if the picture was bigger, you could tell he actually caught some of the treats flying in the air. You can see Obi's mouth there open on the top right as he's trying to receive a treat as it's being thrown through the air. So that was a lot of fun. Alexia Miller is pictured there. She's the head trainer at Wolf Meow, and she was a lot of fun to work with. We also did the treat triathlon at Wolf Meow in both their Dover and Derry location. We had a number of dogs do this, and it was basically a number of puzzles that they had to solve from easy to hard. And they were judged on a number of criteria within that. And we had some very smart dogs in this competition. And she had some hard puzzles in there, puzzles I had never seen before. So I was pleasantly surprised to see many of the dogs be able to complete those. Next, we had our Canine Water Carnival in partnership with Canine Chaos in Dover. And the dogs, again, dogs who love water came out to play at this one. You can see bottom right there. I love Griffin's pose. He's just like, I love this. I think his mom's going to have to invest in her own pool. So they came out to play. They had fun hot dog bobbing, looking for toys in the pool. There was bubble play. There was social play. It was a lot of fun. Next, we had the longest tail competition at Pet Supplies Plus. We had only one dog enter this as well. Orion was so cute. He was a little nervous at first, so his handler, Paula, did a great job with trying to get him a little bit more comfortable. Dom, who's the store owner, pictured there, was very patient. He did great with Orion, and they got his tail measured. But there are a lot of fun pictures there at that competition at Pet Supplies Plus. Also, the longest sit and stay was hosted by Pet Supplies Plus and Friendly Pets. We had two competitors there. We had Orion and Cody, and that was fun. I got to give Cody a lot of credit. He is an old man, and he did fantastic. He was holding on and holding on. So we'll reveal who won this contest here in a short bit, but the pictures are just so cute. All right, Canine Strong. So April hosted about 14 competitions with dogs at her spot. These were individual competitions where the dogs got her full attention, her full fantastic layout, inside, air conditioned, all kinds of great pictures she got. So I'm going to let her tell you all about any observations, stories, special things you want to share, April.
Yeah. So just to remind people, which not everybody did the competition, but those that did know what they had to do. And there were 5 different challenges within the event. And we started with the easiest and went to the more difficult. And so the first one was front paws up, which you can see several of these dogs doing. The next one was all 4 paws up. Then we had what we called the high jump. And then we had the limbo is what we were calling it. And then we had the obstacle course, which is the one that you see in the top center there, or I guess depends on how you look at this. And so basically what we did was we worked with the animals that were in question. And I actually did have a couple, if not 3, that had never engaged with this equipment before, hadn't really done anything with me other than, when I'm at events and they pop in really quick and maybe like sort of sniff it and maybe get a paw on it or whatever else. So the idea was to go through multiple different pieces of equipment and get their front paws up on it. And then we took those pieces of equipment and we combined them into 2 different pieces of equipment where the front paws had to be on one, back paws on the other. And then they obviously with the high jump was like, how high can they jump over? How low can they go under was the limbo. And then the final event was this obstacle course, which you don't see all of. But what impresses me the most is that, when I have people come to me individually to actually learn this stuff, they're literally taking an entire hour in some cases to just learn paws up, which is the front paws up onto something. Now, some of these people had done it. Some of them had done parkour with Jake. And so like there was an introduction to it, but how quickly these dogs just knew exactly what was being asked and then kind of went through, and a lot of them with like no real hesitation at all, which is amazing because, when we talk about parkour, it's things that they sort of engage with anyway in their environments, but like where are you going to find this stuff out in the world unless you're in a gym? So my biggest takeaway whenever I work with people and their dogs with the fitness aspect of it is like that connection has to be so strong, but the willingness of all of these dogs, even the ones that were just not quite sure, the willingness of them to just be like, okay, here's what I'm here for. And this is what he's asking me to do. And let's figure it out. And so it's just cool. And I think, again, and I've said this before at other times that we've talked, but some people have no idea just how smart and agile and like the quick learners that their dogs really are. And I'm not sure what's more fun, watching the dogs do it or the humans figuring out, wow, I've got this really awesome dog that I get to work with. And I just hope that, they will use it. I always tell people, use this stuff on your regular walk, whether it be in a city or whether it be on a trail, like use it, because the dogs actually do love it. And I think if you asked every one of them, they would say to you, I've never seen my dog more exhausted. And so those of you who think that you cannot use physical movement alone to exhaust your dog, I would say, yep, that's probably right. So ask them to do something new and different and have them really focus on it. And then you'll have a very happy, tired dog.
Agreed. Yeah. Well summarized. And I think I mentioned we had your event in 2021 as well, and it's always a favorite.
Yeah.
I know you sold out most every session. And I mean, these dogs, when I was there watching with you as well, they were just having a fantastic time. And, there's a couple of dogs that just surprised me in regards to what they were able to do. These dogs are just amazing with their core strength and their balance and stuff. Yeah, it's wonderful.
I agree.
We've got a couple other people just chiming in here. I'm just going to post these things real quick. Let's see. Lauren, just want to let you know we can see your name, so you're all set. Looks like you got signed in there well. Lorianne saying you're killing me. That's probably when we were showing Obi looking through the gate there. I mean, if he was a movie star, Lorianne, you never know.
Yeah.
Cheryl says these babies are so beautiful and wonderful and perfect. You're absolutely right, Cheryl. Heather says, oh, finally in chat. Yep, got you here. Good. Cheryl says, go Scout. Heather loves the peeking through the door. Nice. Cheryl says the world needs more of this. I agree. More feel-good moments and wonderful stories of dogs and their handlers.
Yeah.
Ray says awesome, and that is a lot of work. And Ray also says Miss Gilly loves going to play on these structures. Yeah, our dogs have done senior fitness at Canine Strong, and we had a birthday party there once too, which was a lot of fun. April's very creative with her birthday parties. It was awesome. And Paula says Orion was very unsure of the plastic obstacles.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Too funny. Oh yeah. So Greg had a word for for Obi peeking through the gate there. Here's Johnny. All right. So there we got some good comments coming in. All right. So let's see what we've got next here on our recap of the events. So new to our venue partners this year was the Dog Agility and Cafe in Hooksett. We had a number of events here. One was Intro to Agility, and she's got the full-blown official equipment. So this was really exciting for dogs to try this event, especially if they had never done it before. And you can see here in the bigger picture, Orion is running up the A-frame. And he had never done this before. It took him a couple of times, but he gained his confidence pretty quickly. And it was really fun to just see him engaging in this stuff and having a great time. Griffin there going through the weave poles, finally went through. Usually he would go a little bit and then he'd jump over the guides there. But it was just, these were wonderful events for watching them gain their confidence. The ice cream licking contest, always my favorite. Just the smiles on people's faces and how much fun the dogs are having. I mean, you can see there Sarah and Griffin. She's got a huge smile. I love that. Bottom middle is Whiskey, and his handler is Kristen. And look how messy her hand is. I think most of the ice cream was going on her hand. Trail and Greg in the upper right there. I mean, they have a wonderful bond. Trail, he's so photogenic. I love it. Cody, I remember in 2021, he got the Savor Award for the ice cream licking contest. And so he came back for this one too, and he thoroughly enjoyed it as well. So we had a great night out at Cow Palace Creamery. Intro to Parkour with Red Pointy Dog Training. This was held out at the Barrington Town Forest. We were supposed to have 3 sessions, but one got rained out, so we had to shuffle people into other sessions. But we did get 2 sessions in, and there's so many interesting natural features out at this trail. People really enjoyed themselves. The dogs enjoyed themselves. I think we may have walked a half a mile, maybe not even that much. And the dogs were exhausted by the time we were done because there was so much to engage in. So always a fun event. So this was new this year. This was a partnership with Paws with Me and Canine Connection up in Laconia. And what's interesting about Michelle, who is the owner of Paws with Me, is if you did not know, she was a competitor in 2021 with her dog Brutus. So she really had a keen eye on putting this together because of her work with her reactive dog and what she went through, what she experienced, what she wanted to provide for people who were having the same anxiety potentially going into these games. So Michelle and I had a great conversation before her first event, and just so that she would know the competitors who were coming in, so she could create that safe space. And the feedback on this event after the first event was it was wonderful. It was heartwarming. It was people feeling included and welcoming, and Michelle was a great person to lead this based on her experience in 2021. So Michelle, tell us all about what happened at your event.
Sure, I'll try without crying, because I know when you and I met.
No, please cry. That's part of the heartwarmingness of this event.
I won't get through it, but I know when you and I spoke, a lot of the emotions from the 2020 Olympics really came back to me, and the struggles emotionally, really, that I had was a lot. I was a helicopter mom. I still am, not was. I am a helicopter mom, and I want to know all the details. And everybody was amazing when we participated. And honestly, that is exactly why I created Paws with Me, Canine Enrichment and Training, because I want to offer those opportunities to people in my situation. I want to offer them a safe space and environment to come have fun and do what they want to do, whether it's a small class, whether it's by themselves. And I was so very grateful to be a part of this. And I was very excited to have a couple of people who had some sensitive dogs. And Kathy and I spoke before her and Hanson came. And thankfully, she had been to the facility, so she knew what the setup was. So that was very helpful. So when I told her what my thoughts were, she was like, perfect, that's great. And just like in 2021, the other participants and the other dogs were absolutely amazing. They were very patient. They were very caring. They were very empathetic. I mean, everybody was just cheering everybody on, and it just really was heartwarming. These dogs were so enthusiastic. The second they came through the gate to start, they were off and running. Like literally, some of them were off and running. It may have taken them a few minutes to wrangle some of them, but they were so enthusiastic and so happy to be there. And just, you could see the connections that people had with their dogs. And these dogs just really wanted to do whatever the guardian said, and they were there to have fun. So it really was a great experience. And I'm glad we were able to offer that for these people.
Yeah, and you really were the best one, Michelle, because you looked at this event through a different lens, and you were really able to offer such a wonderful opportunity. So we're really grateful to you and Sarah, owner of Canine Connection, for opening up this space and being able to participate.
Yeah, this was a perfect space for it, really. We had plenty of room to spread out people and the obstacles so that, people weren't on top of each other. And I know one of the things for Brutus was people coming at us was very anxious for him, and that's when he'd go crazy. And, I made sure that the course was set up that we weren't really coming at people. It was a little difficult, but we weren't really, coming directly at people. We also had a friend of ours on Sunday. He's been taking some photography classes and was really excited. He actually offered to come take some pictures while we were participating. And he was absolutely blown away by this whole entire process. He is not a noise person, so all he could think about was barking dogs and chaos and everything else. And he was like, I'll just put some earplugs in, I'll listen to some music and take some pictures. And he's like, it's quiet in here. No dogs barking. Like, what? How is this even happening? And he was so impressed with the people working with their dogs and just watching what these dogs could do. He was like, wow, I didn't even know this was possible. So it was a great experience all around for all of us.
Yeah, see, I love hearing stories like that. And that usually is the general consensus. Oh, it's going to be loud. That's going to be chaotic. And it's great when we amaze people based on our kind of philosophy and our guidelines of doing things, and create that awareness that people can be included in a safe environment. Reactive dogs, aggressive dogs, shy dogs, and everybody can feel welcomed and have fun. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. I love stories like that.
Yeah. The camaraderie was really good too. I mean, in the first class, we were doing some pictures. Sarah and I took pictures of everybody, for the second class, and with the first class, they were like, "We want a group photo." So I thought that was awesome.
Nice. Oh yeah, I love seeing all the different photos. You guys had a lot of good pairings too that will come later on in the presentation.
Yeah.
So Woof Meow also offered the obstacle course competition. This was at their dairy location in their playland, which is in an indoor dog park as well. And Alexia Miller, again, the head trainer there, had set up a number of different things for the dogs to go through, different challenges. You can see in the upper right-hand corner, there's Scout. He's in his basket muzzle. He is a reactive dog that needed a little bit more space. So this was an individual competition where they had the whole room to themselves. They were off leash. Just a fun bonding time with their handlers. And just a quick shout out to Alexia Miller's husband, standing in the corner there, bottom middle. Pete, he stepped in at the last moment to be a judge, and we appreciate his time. So another fun event with Woof Meow. This was a new event this year, and I put some parameters around this because I thought it would be fun to test the awareness of dogs and the comfort level in a uncontrolled, loud environment. And so we put together what we called the Urban Pawsathlon in partnership with Kimberly Sarah Photography, who is located in downtown Portsmouth. And so we used that area around there to test them on a number of things. We didn't know what would come our way. Would we have cars beeping or a bicycle riding by, or children running and screaming, or somebody sitting on a bench smoking? I mean, we came up against all kinds of things, and we were judging the dogs and the handlers on how they handled the environment and how the handlers advocated for their dogs in the different situations. Everybody did amazing. It was a very hard competition to judge, but everybody seemed to have a really fun time, and we got some fantastic pictures as well. And the second part of it was we went into the dog art gallery, and they got some fun time with interacting with smells and novel objects, and some did some peanut butter painting. So it was just a really different, fun event. So you'll see some more pictures on that later. Intro to Trick was another one offered by Dog Agility and Cafe, and we had some dogs doing it for the first time. We're grateful to EPEC for her time and her knowledge to help these dogs and handlers learn this new skill set and to be able to just use the equipment in a controlled and safe environment. Lots of good feedback on that event as well. And then she also hosted Intro to Nose Work, which was a lot of fun. We had some dogs who had never done it before. For instance, Rocky in the upper right-hand corner, he, is a farm dog, and he loves smells, and he does a lot of nose work, but he had never done it like this before. And his handler, Terry, was actually very surprised to see how much he loved it and how much he engaged in it, and just he caught on like that. So I think that she will probably be doing more of this with him in the future because he showed that he loved it so much. And I love seeing that, dogs trying these things for the first time. And it's like, oh, wow, I had no idea my dog would love this so much. And that's what we learned with a lot of the athletes this year. So Sensory Explorers was back again this year from 2021. And this time we were able to hold it at the mall at Fox Run. We are grateful to them for the space that they let us have for 2 evenings. Monica was able to set up in about 5,000 square feet so that we could host reactive dogs in the space in an individual competition or small group for those who were comfortable. And she had some fantastic setups. Monica, tell us all about this event.
Sure. I think I'm really, with Sensory Explorers, we're really asking people to step out of what traditionally they might think of as an Olympic competition and to focus on increasing their dog's sense of agency, their dog's choices, because oftentimes when we're with our dogs, we are the ones making requests of them. leading them to specific areas. So this was kind of a role reversal. And for any people who hadn't done this before, it is quite different to be on the other side where the dog is leading the activity. It's an opportunity for sniffing, for interacting with different textures, for bending, stretching, lateral movement, slow exploration that focuses on the core stabilizing muscles. So although this is a slow activity, the physical benefits are vast as well as mental and emotional, because we're thinking about human and dog as a partnership. It's a dance, and obviously here the dogs are the ones that are kind of controlling what happens within safety. I had some beautiful moments here. I really thank everyone for kind of stepping out of that traditional train your dog mode into this, oh my goodness, I'm going to give up a little bit of control, and that feels slightly worrisome a bit. Beautiful moment with Griffin, where I just turned my head because Griffin was in a group, and I could see they were just walking side by side with that relaxed leash. And Griffin's a pretty energetic guy. So to just see what he was doing, and the smile on, sorry,
Sarah.
on Sarah's face, just beaming. It was beautiful. Obi, of course, he's an old hat at this. I've seen him over the course of years. He and Lorianne, she was willing to try one of the harnesses that I brought, a Canusa harness. She was willing to use a long leash clipped to his back. Again, that's an area where the human might feel a little bit of loss of control because, the dog is leading. The dog is able to have free movement. So during this, I also did a little harness presentation, just talking about what's anatomically correct and supportive. And I quizzed people a little bit, and I appreciate their input on that. I know we talk a lot about being kind and ethical and doing, trying to reach those gold standards for dogs, protecting them physically and emotionally. And even if you don't feel like you're ready to swap to a harness, just having a little thought in your head to question it, be curious, is a wonderful thing. I really appreciated, and I'm sorry, I have to keep referring to my list, Heather and Layla May. It was beautiful to see Heather giving Layla May the amount of space that she needed and not feeling like, oh, I have to rush and do this. That was a beautiful moment. As well as, I'm not going to be able to mention everyone, but Caden and Willow, it was a very interesting session. We had some little calm interludes during their time, and Willow kind of just wanted to hang out and lay down. And Caden was the most patient person I have ever seen. I love that. Really embracing the dog-led dog choice activity by just hanging out with Willow. So, there were many more moments, and maybe we can talk about those later too. But yeah, marvelous Cody. I mean, all of the participants, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate that it's different, that it wasn't what you were expecting. I appreciate you trying and keeping everyone safe.
Yeah, it was a great night. And I actually I'm getting some feedback here. Are you guys hearing feedback from me?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's gone. All right, I think it's gone. That's weird. I had wanted to say that I thought that this was one of the harder events. And that might not seem like it because, people are just walking around with their dogs are sniffing, but it is really hard for people to slow down and let their dogs guide them with their nose, because we're always in such a hurry. We're always in such a rush. And we're like, dog, come here, dog, come there. Let's go here. Let's go do this. And I love what Monica has created. And she's made this into a business, into, beautiful opportunities for dogs and people to just, connect with nature and connect with each other and connect with these novel items and just get to learn and observe so much about your dog. So I think of everything that was offered, I really feel this was the hardest event. And the dogs did wonderful. The handlers did wonderful. I think there was what's interesting, Monica and I had a conversation. I think there were some people who were a little frustrated, because they're not used to this with their dog. But I think it gave them an opportunity to see things a different way. And I know that was Monica's intention. So kudos to all of the canine athletes and their handlers at this event.
And
one more comment. I was just going to say, Jamie was there with her family and she brought her son, Jacob, and he enjoyed it as well. He enjoyed watching Cody. And I think if Monica had allowed it, Jacob wanted to go out and do all the fun things and the sensory explorers too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What was your other comment, Monica?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, oh my goodness, the first participant, Jan and Scout, Scout uses a muzzle for safety. And when I suggested, how about taking the muzzle off? You'll be on the leash. Jan was so willing to try and wanted to make it the best experience for Scout. And because we were all aware of how to behave around him, that made it a really nice experience for him. We were, whether we were using head turns and kind of some body language back for him. We talked about curving and splitting and all of those wonderful things, all the calming signals. And I just think Jan is so brave. I loved that. Yeah.
Yeah, she even brought Scout into the mall versus our backdoor opportunity, which was available for some people. So kudos to her. We've got a comment here from June. This was Emma's first Olympics, and honestly, I was hesitant to sign up for it, but I finally took the leap and signed up for just 2 events to try it out, and it was so much fun. The organization was amazing. Thanks for doing this for our dogs. You are very welcome, June. It is a labor of love. As I've told many of you, it is a huge undertaking. We could absolutely not do it without our partners. It's heartwarming to all of us to know that people are so over the top with their comments, because we all put in so much work to this. So we appreciate that. All right. So should we share some winners?
Yay!
I think that's why everybody's waiting here, right?
Roll, please.
It's like, woo, woo. I'm going to bring in Jake Belmont, who is joining us here. He had some workshops tonight, so I'm going to have him tune in here. Hey, Jake, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well, thanks. We're getting into some winners here now. We told people about all the love that was shared at Intro to Parkour. So You're joining us here at just the right time as we get into the winners and the achievement awards coming up.
Perfect.
So let's talk a little bit first about how winners are determined, because I know a lot of people had questions about that. So all of our judges and instructors had a judging criteria sheet. And on each one, there were 3 to 5 judging criteria, just depending on the competition that they had to judge the competitors on. And then the judges had a rating scale from 1 to 5. They had to assign a number to each of the judging criteria for each of the canine athletes. And then you take the total and divide by the number of judging criteria and judges to get the average that helped determine the winners. So these are the winners of the individual competitions. So in water fun, it was Orion and Paula. They had a great time. They did so well together. Great bonding experience. So congratulations to them. In howling, we had Scout and Jan. As we mentioned, they were the only competitor, but he sang his heart out. And the video they got of him, it was the cutest thing. I think Jan will have wonderful memories of this opportunity with him. Again, in a safe and positive environment that Jody and Ray provided, who hosted this event. Pool toy retrieval was that big, beautiful Rottweiler, Whiskey. He was loving this game. He made this pool his own. I think Kristen is going to have to invest in a similar pool for her yard. He dove right in. He got those toys. I mean, we have pictures of his feet. They're huge. And he would have his claws spread and the webbing in between. I mean, I think he's part duck. I mean, he was absolutely amazing in this competition, and he was so much fun to watch. So congratulations to them. In treat toss, we had Hadley and Sydney. They were new to the competition this year. This dog was so attentive. They have a wonderful, wonderful bond. And I could tell that he was actually, Hadley's a she. She was having so much fun, and they really enjoyed it. They only entered 2 competitions this year, but they had a lot of fun. And we actually, in this competition, what was interesting is Hadley started out, it was I think it was a dark colored treat, and we determined he was having a hard time seeing it because of the color of the floor, I guess it was. And so we switched it to a different color treat. It was actually yellow banana chip, and dogs can see yellow and blue. And he actually did amazing after the color of the treat switched, which I found was very interesting. So congratulations to Hadley and Sydney. Hadley also did amazing in the treat triathlon, and he also took that competition. He had those 4 puzzles to solve. He zoomed right through it, or she zoomed right through it. It was obvious that she does puzzles regularly. So great job to them. Congratulations. In the Canine Water Carnival, we had 2 winners. We had Obie and Lori Ann and Griffin and Sarah. The scores were tied on this one. Just a great event. Both dogs love water. Both dogs have a wonderful bond with their handlers, and everybody had fun. So congratulations to them on winning this competition. In the longest tail competition, as I mentioned, Orion was the only one that entered, but he measured in at 12 inches. And I just give kudos to both of them on the confidence that they had to build for Orion to get to the point where he was comfortable with his tail being measured. So congratulations. And then longest sit and stay. Orion and Paula were also the winners. I think he, minute 27, I believe, was his winning time. He was very patient. They had a great connection between the 2 of them. In this competition, they actually got 3 tries, and then they could take the longest time from out of those 3 tries. And so congratulations to both of them there. In Fun Fitness, we had a tie as well. Hanson and Kathy, as well as Charlotte and Liz. Any surprises here, April?
I mean, I love Jack Russells and I know what they can do. So no, but like, look at the size difference.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people sort of think that, like you mentioned way earlier, Tracy, that it's like, it's all about the big, brawny, really strong dogs, that they're the ones that are going to do better in these things. And for so many, many reasons, that's not always true. Breeds and breed mixes do make a difference. But I guess I wouldn't say, I've never worked with Charlotte and Liz. I shouldn't say that. I've worked with Liz years ago, but not with Charlotte. And then Kathy and Hanson have been coming in and doing some canine fitness stuff. So I already knew what he was capable of, but he just killed it. Like he didn't want to be done. He just, like, half the time we were like, okay, well, let's move on to the next thing. He's like, oh, I know what it is. And he was like ready to do it before we even asked. So he was amazing. And just for a little bit of shout out, this is the dog, if you guys were all following, that went missing in North Conway. I'm going to get this wrong, Kathy. I'm so sorry, but it was at least 7 days. And he had lost a significant amount of weight when he was gone for that long. And you can still see he's pretty lean, but it did not hurt his ability to control those muscles and really use them appropriately to keep his body protected and safe in doing all of these things. So I love the fact that these 2 ended up being really right on with each other, just because I love that it shows that it doesn't matter what size they are. Any dog can do this.
Yeah, I loved the combination of these 2 as well. And I think, Hanson definitely had the agility. He's all muscle. I don't think he has an ounce of fat on him. And Charlotte just has the heart of a lion. And they, you can see the smile on Kathy's face there. They were just having a great time. Liz has a great bond with Charlotte.
Yeah.
It was just obvious that the connection between handler and dog
Yeah.
was just over the top. So it was just so wonderful to watch.
And just because I have to, because I see these things. So yeah, Hanson's super, super muscular. But if you look at that picture of Charlotte, like look at her shoulder,
Oh yeah.
look at her butt.
Oh yeah,
look
you
at
can
her-
see the
like,
ripples.
oh my God, I love it. I love seeing that stuff.
There's probably a 6-pack under there, you know.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah. Beautiful competition. Well done, guys. Congratulations. Intro to Agility was also Charlotte and Liz. This was definitely Charlotte's sport. She does very well at these types of things. She's quick, she's fast, she's agile. And again, they had a great relationship. Liz knew what she was doing. She had done Intro to Agility before with her other dogs, not with Charlotte. But because she knew what she was doing, she was very confident, and Charlotte played right into that. So congratulations to them on that competition. Ice cream licking. This is a practiced method of, licking the ice cream just right and getting to the bottom of the cup. And both Obi and Rocky competed in this in 2021. So I think it was their training for this Olympics. And they both took the first place prize on this one. These dogs obviously had a great time with their ice cream, and they were a lot of fun to watch. And we got a lot of great pictures. So congratulations to both of them on the ice cream licking competition. And that was with Cow Palace Creamery. Intro to Parkour was Rocky and Terry. And I think this was a little bit of a surprise to me. I'll be curious what Jake thinks, but Rocky is returning to this competition. And I know that Terry has been working very hard with him over the last several years. So what do you think, Jake? Any surprise there?
So I think you asked me, like, guess who won? And there was a bunch of dogs I was thinking, but I'm pretty sure I guessed Rocky. What it came back to for me was 3 things. I think there was a couple dogs, maybe 3 dogs that I scored perfect. Rocky was one. I never saw her try to get him to do something he wasn't capable of. Every time I saw them, they were smiling, both of them. And every time I looked over and we were kind of waiting, they were off doing something fun. So I wasn't super surprised. Knowing Rocky, I was a little surprised at how agile he was. But yeah, no, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Jake. What I find with Rocky, he may not be that agile, but he has huge confidence. Huge.
Yes,
and Terry is such a great handler with him. She has a lot of confidence as well, and they have a wonderful bond. So It was really, really fun to see them compete again this year. I'm glad that they returned. And you could tell that they had practiced some of these different things beforehand. And, they're a member of the club. They've been with us for a long time. So they've been to many of these events, and they've been on parkour before, and they've been to Fun Fitness, and have done those different things. So I know Rocky is very adept to doing them. And like I said, he has the confidence for it. So congratulations to both of them. Well done.
Agree. Go Team Rocky.
Fido's Fun Run. So this was wonderful to see Nala join us this year. Again, she was in our senior division. She did Fun Fitness too. I saw her there. She knocked my socks off. I did not know what to expect. She was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And she has a wonderful relationship with Sarah. Michelle, any surprises here?
Not really. I had a couple people in mind, and Sarah and Nala were definitely one of them. Like I said earlier, you never would know that she was a senior. They did amazing. Their relationship is fabulous, and I just love that these dogs just look to their owners. They're like, okay, what do you want me to do next? And it was really heartwarming to watch it all.
I agree. And just, being a senior dog, and I've never met Nala before, to have that expectation and then have her blow that expectation out of the water. Yeah. That was really fun for me to see at Fun Fitness. I assume with you too, April, right? Because you had not met Nala before, had you?
Well, she had come to an event of ours that was just sort of a open house that we did at the Canine Strong. So they got to try stuff, but it was literally like a matter of minutes. So yes, but although I had seen the dog and I knew that they had come in, I did not. I barely remembered who she was or what the dog was capable of doing. Which, she did blow me out of the water. And she was one of our so Rocky was my first competitor. I think she was with you. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can tell I'm sort of speechless because I was like this. I kept saying to you throughout, I was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like I wasn't expecting her to do something. And all of a sudden she was just not only doing it, but like so solid, so steady, the perfect pot. I was just like, this is just crazy. But it was amazing. And I have a lot to say about seniors, which I'll say a little bit later, because
we love our
they are
seniors.
the ones that make me the most surprised. And there's a lot of reasons for it, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, and another dog with big confidence. So congratulations to them on winning this competition.
So this puzzle here really threw people for a loop. We had a couple of different obstacles that were tougher for some than others, and this really, I think, pretty much every single contestant struggled with a little bit. Some people got it right away. Some it took some time. So I really like this picture here of the two of them because it was tough at first, but she picked right up on it, and it was great.
Well, it kind of looks like they're ESPing some problem solving techniques or something there, you know? Nice job. All right. So in the obstacle course, Tilly and Erica were the winners here. This again was held at Woof Meow in Derry. And Tilly's a shy dog. She's an anxious dog, but she had some really good confidence in this event. And she did really, really well. And kudos to Erica as well. She's a wonderful handler. They had just great chemistry together. And I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but on Erica's shirt, she actually has her two dogs pictured, Tilly and Pepper. And she would wear this to most of the events. I mean, she was really getting into it. She had this whole cheerleading squad for her dogs. It was wonderful. So congratulations to them.
Kudos to Erica. I said to Erica when she came, I was like, kudos to you for signing up two dogs in the same event, like all over the place, because there's no way I would ever try to take Brutus and Ruby to something together and try to work them because it wasn't happening. So
well, she had wonderful help from Tabitha, who I know you met. Yeah. So that was a great support system. And they both had the shirts. I loved it. They were Team Tilly and Pepper all the way. Love the spirit. It was just wonderful to see.
Yeah.
So congratulations to them. The Urban Pawsathlon went to Willow and Caden. Willow is actually a relatively shy dog, but she's got such a wonderful connection with Caden, and she trusts. There's so much trust there in their connection that she was completely comfortable in that environment, because if she got nervous or she saw something that she couldn't understand, she would just look to Caden, and he has a confidence and he would reassure her. And I really loved seeing that bond, the fact that she could feel advocated for and comfortable in this environment. So well done. Congratulations to them on taking this competition. Intro to Trick went to Baloo and Liz. Now, Baloo only competed in 2 events, so I know he wasn't seen by many. I believe that he had done Intro to Trick before, but he is a Basenji. If you were with us at the 2021 Olympics, you might remember that a Basenji took it all. So this dog was very confident and very well connected to Liz, and they did very well in this event. So congratulations to both of them. Sensory Explorers. So congratulations to Obi and Lori Ann, and to Cody and Jamie. And Monica, there's probably no surprise here, right?
Picking a winner is really hard, and these dogs are precious. And I saw so many absolutely fantastic connections between dog and their people. That, I'm glad I was just a small part of the judging, because you all win. You were there with your dogs. You were supporting your dogs. You were looking at your dogs, observing. You were smiling as your dogs were moving around. And even if you were feeling a little bit unsure, you were there together, in a relationship, in a partnership. And that's a beautiful thing. So you're all winners. But yes, absolutely, Cody and Jamie and Obi and Lori Ann. And I have so many things to say about all the participants, but I will just say that, I've known Obi and Lori Ann for a long time, and to see Lori Ann beaming when she talks about Obi, and they've had their challenges for sure. And she just is so proud of him. I adore that. And of course, Jamie beaming as well, looking at Cody, who's just a marvelous senior. So yeah, all winners,
well
but
said.
yes.
Yep, well said. I agree. So congratulations to them. Intro to Nosework went to Rocky and Terry. Rocky rocked this event. As I mentioned, he's a farm dog, so he's well equipped to nosework. He's never done it in a structured environment like this, so Terry didn't know what to expect. He went in there and he was the boss. This event was made for him, and I'm not surprised that they won it. He loved it, and Terry was so over the top about his performance that she wants to do more of this structured training with him. And there's no doubt to me that he could title in this. I think, if she's got the time to invest, I think they could have a lot of fun exploring this to an advanced level. So congratulations to both of them on this accomplishment. So the senior division. So this was new this year for 2021. So what we did is we had 4 dogs competing in the senior division, as you saw. And this winner was determined by the best overall score among canine athletes over the age of 8 years. And then that was divided by the number of events they competed in. A few of the senior dogs did 2 events, some did 5, some did 7. So there was different formulas there to determine the winner. But I'm just curious from any of our judges here, any guesses on who might have taken the senior division?
Oh, it's hard to know because you don't know how many they did, but I guess
yeah, true.
Matter.
All right, so you want me to just reveal
Yeah.
it? All right. So congratulations to Nala and Sarah.
Yay.
Yeah, you might have heard us talking about Nala totally blew our socks off. We just, we didn't know. She doesn't really come to many of adventures, and we didn't know what she was capable of. And she had amazing core strength, amazing balance, and just that trust and connection with Sarah. Yeah. So congratulations to them both. Well earned.
Yeah.
All right. So now this part is the achievement awards, which we do every Olympics as well. And how we determine these winners is it's feedback from the judges and it's feedback from instructors. This is basically awards that we give out because we see amazing things that we never would have expected, or, we have expectations and they're blown out of the water. Just so many great things that we saw this year from the athletes and from their handlers, and the connections, the bond that had to go. We can't let it go unnoticed. We have to, shout the praise from the rooftop for these teams. So we want to share this with you now. So we want to give some special recognition to these people here. So the Bravery Award, this was for people and their dogs who were very nervous to try this because their dogs are reactive or need extra space or for whatever reason. And these people really had to push themselves and their dogs out of their comfort zone. So we awarded the Bravery Award to Layla May and Heather, Scout and Jan, and Hanson and Kathy. And this was determined by judges April, Michelle, and myself. April or Michelle, any comments at all or any surprises here?
Not a surprise to me, because when poor little Layla May, first of all, kudos to her for walking through the front door, because that was obviously something that she was very uncomfortable with. It was outside of her comfort zone. And to anybody who hasn't been to the facility or haven't done my event, they have to walk through our front door, which means that there could be other things going on that first level. And then they have to go upstairs to this unknown world, right? And then all of a sudden, all these weird plastic things, as you guys described them, were there in front of them. And, so because of the way our facility is structured, when you're upstairs, anywhere in it, but when you're upstairs, you hear everything that's going on downstairs. And then, of course, you hear the street noise. And then there's all the stuff. And granted, there wasn't a lot of people because it was a one-on-one event, but there's still me. And if there was a judge at that point, it was just me. And then all the challenges. And, So Layla May was the traditional tail tucked, ears pinned back, like just everything about the posture was just like, oh my God, get me out of here. And, her favorite thing was just to go to the door. Like, that's the exit. I just want to go to the exit. And that was just in the beginning. But Heather just has amazing patience with her. And, there were no expectations. I explained this to all of our participants that with coming in and doing my particular events, there were no expectations. There were challenges. We wanted everybody to do one thing in each challenge. That was it. If that's all they ever did, that was totally fine with us. But we gave her the time, we gave her the space, we let her, one of the important things that I find is that when they're doing my events and my challenges, if they walk away, let them walk away. That's their choice for very specific reasons. And oftentimes that's a de-stressor for them. And by doing that, and this would be a Monica thing, by doing that, that gives them choice, right? So the more you do that, the more all of a sudden you see this dog come out of its shell and be like, oh, I don't have to do anything. And then they start choosing to do things. And I'm sure it was a video that you had. It's a video that Heather now has and she can keep. It was one that I took. And it did come kind of more at the end of the competition, but for them to overcome it was an under sort of thing. And she had a harness on, like there was all this stuff that could have made it that much more tense and uncomfortable for her. Because a lot of dogs don't like to have something touching their backs or their shoulders when they're going under, especially when it's not, essentially it's not something that they were doing because they were outdoors and it was something they had to do. But to see her at the start and to see her at the finish and to see both of them, like the beaming that came off of Heather just because of the fact that Layla May chose to do this and did it successfully and then came up out of it with her ears up and her tail up. And I was just like, oh my God, like, whew, those are the tear-reducing moments because that the dog has finally had, if in just that moment, they have finally had a breakthrough, but it's that breakthrough that's going to lead to another and another and another. And that is, bravery award, absolutely to her because both of them, I think, stepped out of their comfort zone and just absolutely did what you're supposed to do as a team, which is support each other, trust each other, and allow things to be.
Agreed. Any thoughts from you, Michelle?
Absolutely. The first time I met Heather and Layla May was at the corn maze. And I just remember her spending a lot of time on the outskirts. We got to chat a little bit, but I know she was, hypersensitive and just very cautious. And I totally get that. So I loved to see that she participated in the Olympics. And I'm so glad that they had this amazing experience, April. I think that's awesome for the two of them. So I'm really proud of them for that. Yeah. Jan and Scout, granted, I haven't been on an event in a long time, but I loved seeing Jan out there. So I think that's fantastic. And I'm so glad that she was able to participate with Scout. And she felt comfortable enough to do that and, bring a dog with a muzzle because I know how that can be. And then Hanson and Kathy, I mean, really, they were wonderful. And I know she was very nervous and I felt all of her feelings and told her I had been there. And I'm so glad that she was comfortable and had a great time. And Hanson had an amazing time running around, having fun, doing his own thing. And I know, what it can be hard. We all think about judgment for all of them and depending on how our dogs are in certain environments. But I think Hanson had gotten a little crazy. He was having fun on the couch. We had a couch. He was rolling around. He was making himself comfortable. And I think she was a little embarrassed. And I was like, you know what? This is your wonderful dog.
Yeah.
And he is having a great time. And you need to enjoy every moment like this because it could be the total opposite, right? Like he could be having a nervous breakdown in the middle of this room and he is having the time of his life.
Yeah.
So take it all in and enjoy it and be very proud of what you have accomplished.
I agree. That's very well said, Michelle. And all of these people should be, credited with just stepping out of their comfort zone and pushing their dogs out of their comfort zone. It's a huge leap of faith. So they very deservedly received the Bravery Award. Trust and Teamwork Award. April, tell us the story behind this one.
So they've, Orion and Paula have obviously done a lot of events with the group, so they know everybody. He's had a lot of exposure to things and whatnot. But if you don't all know, his exposure was mostly urban because they lived in Massachusetts. And it was always out in the cities in those kinds of environments. So she earlier made a comment, kind of came across the bottom, about the fact that he was really not so sure about these plastic things. And he really wasn't so sure. And while as a dog in general, just letting him be dog, he's got this wonderful personality. He's got this great energy. Like, there was no piece of me that thought that he was going to have issues with this, but it's weird stuff. And also, it challenges them physically, yes, mentally for sure. But the physicality of it is like, this is inflatable stuff. This is like us trying to stand on, something that has like round, that isn't gonna, like, you gotta keep it where it needs to be. And so he definitely was not sure, but he trusted Paula so much, and she gave him so much time and space to process what we were asking. There was no force to it. There was no expectation to it. It's, she would invite him to do something. We waited for his response. If he chose to do it, even just like one toenail on, we were like having celebrations, like, this is awesome. And so again, he was a scenario where it was like, the more we let him make the choice to do something, the more he wanted to do. But the biggest thing for me was that we'd gone through everything, and he was doing the obstacle course. And I don't know that either one of us, she certainly did not have the expectation that he was going to do any piece of the obstacle course, but I was like, well, let's see what they do. And I always tell them, like, you guys saw it all laid out. There's multiple pieces of equipment from beginning to end that they're supposed to walk across nonstop, not getting on, just staying on the entire time. So what I invite them to do is just let them engage with it however they want to. If they just put a pop on it, oh, well, move on to the next thing. Like, just engage as much as possible with the equipment. So I think we were even done, but I was videoing. And there was a section of it where there's, like, we call them peanuts. So there's these long, round pieces of equipment. It was like 4 of them that they had to traverse over. And he did not want to do that, which was fine. So we just let him, I basically say, let them dismount. And then he turned around, and I said, you know what, Paul, just get his front paws up on it. And so she starts coming at me, and I'm videoing. And, when you're videoing, you have to be a certain distance apart. But I also wanted to try to hold these things a little bit more steady. And then the next thing I know, it was like this light bulb went off, and he was just like, I got this. And he comes over, and he's like in my video, like in my face, because he's literally not putting his paws up on it, but essentially trying to climb up on every single one of them and go the opposite direction from what they would have done. And I'm looking at her, and I was like, okay, so when did we decide that this stuff was all okay and we're going to actually do the hardest piece of it? But it was just, it was so much of that connection, that trust. Like, he knew he didn't have to. He knew he could because she believed he could. Give them the time and space, let them explore, and then this is what happens. So it's a funny video because and you hear me saying in the video, I'm like, I can't get any farther away from him. I'm like, I kept on backing up, trying to get him in the frame, but he was just right there, like crawling on top of everything. And I was just like, you know what? Kudos to you, dude, because you didn't have to do any of this. And at the very end, he decided this was all okay. So I love it.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, April. And congratulations to them. So, Jake, I love the name of this award. Tell us the story behind this.
So it's something that me and my wife Louise talk about a lot. Like, oh yeah, this dog is such a brave little toaster. It's from the movie. It's something that we say about our dogs a lot. Like, oh yeah, I had to take Monzo to the vet. He was a brave little toaster today. So when you said that we could give special recognition awards, I was like, oh, I got to do the brave little toaster award for sure.
And what did you see in Willow and Caden at parkour?
Yeah. So there's a couple dogs I thought about, all 3 that won the bravery award, for example. But so Willow was nervous for sure. Maybe a little overwhelmed. Some of the obstacles were a little scary, and she just kept doing the things that she could do. And Caden just kept letting her do the things that she could do. There weren't pushing. It wasn't like a lot of times I do these and a dog struggles and people get frustrated with the dog. I didn't see any of that. And what really sealed it for me is toward the end, we were all kind of congregating. People were doing their own thing. And I looked over and Willow had her paws up on an obstacle that I've seen dogs say no to for years. Like it was the kiosk. It's got a big roof on it, and it's kind of like really high, and it's it goes in, so it's like they can't see what's beyond it. And so I saw her doing that and looking happy, and I was like, yeah, no, that's the brave little toaster for this one for sure.
I love it. That's fantastic. So congratulations to all of them. Also, we want to give special recognition to these folks. The Enthusiasm Award was earned by Trail and Greg and Hanson and Kathy. And Michelle, do you want to speak to this? I know you were part of this award.
Yeah, I spoke about Hanson and how much fun he had, and Trail, he was funny. He was just out to have a good time, whether he did the obstacles or not. I mean, Greg worked really hard with him, but Trail was really just out to have some fun, and I just loved watching. We all did. I mean, we all talked about him at the end about how much fun he was having, and I'm glad this was awarded to both of them.
Yeah, and I think Greg just creates that space for Trail to have fun. I mean, he's a fun guy. He's like, I'm going to have fun with my dog. This is, I take life one day at a time. And I think that's just a wonderful philosophy. So I'm not surprised that they won it. Yeah. And yeah, Hanson and Kathy, I love their relationship and they work well together. I love Hanson's energy. And he was just having a great time too. Every time I saw him, getting a little exuberant, I would say to Kathy, "Oh, it's just his Dalmatian coming out," because he's 50% Dalmatian. But he was just having a great time. So congratulations to both of them. So Ray and I gave the I'll Teach You award to Pepper and Erica. So if you were at the pool toy retrieval contest, Pepper was dynamite. I mean, Whiskey inched out Pepper by just, minute points. But Pepper had a heart of gold with this competition, and her sister Tilly was really nervous, didn't want to go in. But Pepper's like, "I'll teach you." And, they'd throw the toys and Pepper would jump in. It's like, "Tilly, come on along." They have such a wonderful bond. And she did get Tilly to go in the water. She actually helped Ryder to get a little bit more acclimated. Ryder didn't go in the water. But Pepper was more than willing to help him learn. And so Pepper is just a wonderful teacher, and she is deserving of this award. So congratulations. And then the Spirit Award, April and EPEC at Dog Agility Cafe and myself wanted to give this award to both Rocky and Terry and Evie and Lauren. Just great energy, great bonding. These dogs just have a huge confidence and a huge spirit. I so loved watching Evie at the pool toy retrieval competition. Again, she was inched out by 100th points, but she had so much fun. I mean, you can tell this is a dog that's not there to compete. She's just there to have fun. She loved getting the toys. She loved swimming, and it was just so fun to watch. Yeah. April, any thoughts from you on this award?
Yeah, so with the Spirit Award, I had actually written something out because Rocky, I was just like, this is so clearly goes to Rocky. And this is, I just wanted to read it because this is what I put down. It's like, for the dog that embraces new experiences with a zest for life that knows no boundaries and has no limits. Everything in life is an adventure made to embrace and enjoy to its fullest. So, and I had a little backstory because Rocky, the first time I met him was actually at the 2021 Olympics. And everybody's probably heard this. And this is don't judge a book by its cover, because I'm standing in the doorway and she's coming across the parking lot with Rocky. And I literally looked out in the parking lot and I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do with this dog?" Because of his body. Like, I'm like, he's so short, like my equipment's so big. I'm like, what am I going to do with this dog? And he was just kind of like, do as they walk across the parking lot. And I'm like, oh my God, no size, no energy. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? But he has just continued to be throughout. I mean, anybody who's met him, and I think that's pretty much everybody in the club, because how can you not know Rocky? Just
governor.
What was that?
He's the governor.
Yeah, exactly. And so I thought it was funny because Tracy and I were talking about this, and I was saying, like, they're up for all the challenges. And it said, he doesn't see challenges, but rather opportunities to experience something new and more ways to have fun. He has an amazing connection to his people and is up for anything that they ask of him. And this is the thing. He was game for every challenge we asked him to do in the Fun Fit event. And literally, this is like the attitude. This is like the air, the energy that I saw coming off of him. It was just like, he like walked up to everything and he was just like, "Yeah, I've got this. Watch and learn. This is how it's done." And I was just like, "All right, you go, you do your thing." we're going to just name all of these events after you. So that was the Spirit Award. That was the reason for it.
Oh, great. And I remember in 2021, you awarded him the Shock the Judge Award, specifically because he caught you off guard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So congratulations to both of them. It was wonderful to see Evie participating this year as well. And I hope she'll come back for the next Olympics because she is definitely a competitor.
Yeah.
Also, we want to give recognition to these people here. So the Advocate Award, I really am, and I hope I won't cry here, but I'm so proud of Sarah. Griffin was having a very hard time in some of the events, and she decided to pull him from his last event after talking with her trainer. And I know that was hard for her because Sarah was having a great time. She had 2 dogs entered in the competition, but she just didn't think Griffin was comfortable. It was too much out of his comfort zone, and she didn't want that for him. And she knows him very well. And I just have to give her huge kudos. By taking Griffin out, she obviously decreased her score because there was that one less event, but it was what was right for Griffin, and it gave Sarah peace of mind. So they absolutely earned the Advocate Award, and EPEC agreed as well. She loved working with Griffin and Sarah as well. The Special Bond Award, Lori Ann and Obi, Willow and Caden, Cody and Jamie. Wonderful connections here between dog and people, as we have mentioned. Monica, do you have any thoughts behind this award as well?
Sure. I just think it's the patience that these humans have for their dogs, where they are right now, the willingness to support them, to be with them, not necessarily doing anything, but just to be together and, providing whatever their dog needs is really heartwarming. And like I had mentioned before, I have, the pictures of Caden and Willow where they're just on the floor together. Lori Ann, just beaming about Obi and that beautiful loose leash, which you maybe would not see at other times with Obi, who is he's got a big personality, and Lori Ann is a little tiny person. So just to see them moving together, just absolutely gorgeous. And I mentioned before Cody and Jamie. I just adore the joy and the zest and the I don't want to call it pride, but just that feeling of closeness and love between all of these humans and their dogs, where they are right now. Not a perceived future version of their dog, but love for them right now, just as they are.
Yeah, well said, Monica. Congratulations to all of them. The Savor Award went to Scout and Jan. Again, Scout is a reactive, anxious dog. He was in a setting here with lots of people, children, and other dogs spread out in a safe manner. But he had a lot of stuff and noise going on around him, and he laid down and he thoroughly enjoyed his cup of ice cream. And I want to acknowledge that because I think that was, it was probably something he really enjoyed, but he really had to be pushed out of his comfort zone to do that. And it was so cute to watch. He's there without his muzzle. Usually I see him with his muzzle. He was having a great time. So kudos to both of them. He earns a Savor Award. I think I can award. So Ryder only was in 2 competitions, but Ryder is buddies with Pepper and Tilly. Pepper was trying desperately to get Ryder into the water, and you could tell that Ryder wanted to. He would take a couple laps around the pool. He's like, I think I can, but I just don't know. But he did get his toes in there. We weren't sure if he would put his toes in the water, and he did. So he gets the Think I Can award. Congratulations to them. And I love the cheerleader award. So Baloo and Liz and Rocky and Terry. So, when you're a judge or an instructor and you just kind of take the time to observe your competitors, you hear these really dear and kind words expressed between handler and dog. Like they're speaking to, a partner that they've been with all their life, or, a very close friend. It's just heartwarming. exchange of love. And, Liz came into this with absolutely no expectations for Baloo. She was blown away that he could be comfortable in these different environments and engage in these different things. And she was very forthcoming with that information. She just was over the top about how excited that she had found this opportunity and this safe, welcoming space. And they were just wonderful cheerleaders. So we wanted to acknowledge that as well. Kelly, one of our judges as well, was in on that achievement award. So congratulations to all of them. And then finally, we want to give special recognition to this team of women and these team of dogs. They're just wonderful. And again, as I mentioned before, look at their shirts. They've got Team Pepper and Tilly on their shirts. They had these specially made for the Olympics. I just love it. They wore them to the competitions. The dogs have a wonderful bond. They competed in many of the same competitions. Some were different, but Tabitha was always there with Erica. They're best buddies. The dogs were best buddies. And it was just wonderful to see the fun that they were having and just getting into it and enjoying it. Obviously, that traveled down the leash and the dogs were reading that, and the dogs had just as much fun too. So we really appreciate the spirit that they brought to this and just that whole buddy philosophy and supporting each other through all of the games. So congratulations to everybody on these wonderful achievement awards, and thank you to our judges and instructors for their stories and awarding these achievement awards, and just really taking the time to observe all that the competitors were offering when they were in their space. All right, so we're nearing the end here, guys. We have our medal winners. So this is for the bronze, silver, and gold. And how these winners are determined is basically it's the best overall score among all canine athletes competing in at least 5 or more events. And then we divide by the number of events they competed in to get their average score. And that average score is anywhere between 1 and 5. 5 is the highest score that they can get. So that's how these winners were determined. So our bronze medal winner in 3rd place is Whiskey and Kristen. Congratulations to them. They had some fantastic events. As I mentioned, Whiskey was a boss at the pool toy retrieval, and he brought that same spirit to all of the competitions that are all of the events that he competed in. So congratulations to them. In 2nd place, our silver medal winner was Charlotte and Liz. Again, Charlotte, heart of a lion, and Liz was very accommodating to her, helping her with what she needed. And, Liz was very open to learning new things. She has a lot of experience working with dogs, but she was in a place where she was willing to take in new ideas, new advice, and thoughts from our instructors and judges. And so they earned the 2nd place. So congratulations to them. And now you guys didn't think we were gonna just hop to the gold winner, did you? I mean, no, I'm gonna hang on for another 30 minutes before I give that away. So you might remember that we said we had a giveaway that we were going to do. That's something new this year. And the way it worked is for every competition that every event that a competitor competed in, or every event that a dog competed in, was earned an entry into the giveaway. So if you competed in 7, you got 7. If you competed in 2, you get 2 entries. So what I'm going to do is go out of this and just go to our wheel of names. So what I've done here is I've put in all of the names you can see here. And if you did multiple competitions, you're listed multiple times. So what we're going to do is just shuffle this up. And the first thing we're going to give away is donated by Angela Herr. You might remember her if you've come to some of our special events. She is the caricature artist. Here is an idea of some of her artwork she's done for our dogs. And what she's going to do is you can submit a photo to her, and she will Doggy Olympics it. So for instance, if you wanted a picture, if you have your dog and you have a picture of your dog with their medals or their trophy or whatnot, you could submit that and she'll put our logo on it, the Doggy Olympics logo, or you can just do a regular photo, whatever you want. So the winner for this, I will connect with her directly, and then you can decide what photo opportunity you want for that. All right, so the winner for the caricature photo will be all right. Congratulations to Sydney and Hadley. So you won that prize from Angela Herr, and I will reach out to you so I can connect you with her. The next prize we have is donated by Wolf Meow. It's a gift basket here of goodies, and it also includes a gift card. It's got some toys in there as well. So that is going to be the next thing we give away. And that is going to go, we'll give another few shuffles here. All right, the winner of the gift basket from Wolf Meow will be all right, so that goes to Caden and Willow. Congratulations. All right, and then the last giveaway we have was donated by Friendly Pets. And I actually broke the basket that it came in, so I put it in a new basket. But it's got toys, it's got poop bags, it's got a gift card as well. It's got a looks like stuffed rhino, Kong rhino, all kinds of goodies in here. So that will be the next gift basket we give away. Give the names one more shuffle here. All right, so the winner of the basket from Friendly Pets will be all right, and that goes to Terry and Rocky. Congratulations, guys. So I will connect with each of you so that we can get you your goodies. All right, so let me go back into our presentation here so we can move along. All right, so that was the giveaways. Congratulations there. Okay, so before we announce the gold winner, we have a very special award that all of the judges were part of putting this together. This is a very heartwarming award, and we all agreed that this needed to be acknowledged. We weren't really sure what to call it, how it would work. So we said, hey, they do it in the Emmys, they do it in the Grammys, we're going to do it here. So this is a Lifetime Achievement Award, and it's being given to a dog and handler who is participating for the second time. They were in our senior division, and you've heard us talk extensively about their bond, their relationship, all the fun that they had this year with no expectations. And we love this duo. And they earned this wonderful, wonderful to see them compete together. There's a few photos here of Cody in 2021, the one on the left there in his blue sweatshirt, the one above with the little squeakies in his mouth. It was really cute, actually, because it was a treat toss competition that we did, and we had photographers that ran it. Cody doesn't do treats. He does squeaky guys. He does squeaky buddies. And so he brought his squeaky buddies and he loved it up. Then below there, he's at Friendly Pets with his longest sit stay. He needed a rest, so he was resting there. And then at Fun Fitness in the top right with Canine Strong, and bottom right is the at Wolf Meow for the treat triathlon. So just a wonderful dog. Jamie is a wonderful human being. We're just very proud of all they've accomplished. They ride it out. They have fun together. Like I said, no expectations. Just so much fun to see them together. You guys have any thoughts you want to add to this?
Because this is like senior aspect and whatever. First of all, and you got so many great pictures, Tracy, of him upstairs. The wisdom of the seniors, and in particular Cody, where he never once didn't do what he and Jamie set out to do, right? But there were so many moments where we're like, okay, next thing we're gonna do is, and oh yeah, he's down taking a rest for a second, because he would just plop down, lay down, and be like, now, 1 second here, I just need to take a quick nap. And there he is, laying on the ground, just doing his quick nap, just like a quick one, right? And then he was like, okay, I'm ready to go again. And he'd come right back into the competition. And I just think that he totally embodies the senior division, but every one of our seniors, because the ones that I worked with, they all did the same thing. There are no apologies for a senior dog. Like they're like, here I am, take me as I am. I've seen it, I've done it, conquered it all. and they're totally comfortable with themselves. And you talk about Nala's confidence. Well, there's a reason for that. Like, she literally has done it all. And I mean, when you have a handler like Sarah, I mean, you can't really go wrong because of all the things that she allows. But the thing about the senior dogs, and the thing that Willow and Cody did this the most, and both did it within my competitions, where it was like, yeah, I'm doing it. Yep, I'm loving this. I'm liking the new thing. I'm going to explore something new and different. But hang on one second. I'm just going to lay down for a few minutes. And they were allowed to. They were told, and I got pictures of Willow doing the same thing. They were allowed to. And I think it was you, Monica, that said it. Caden was amazing. Like, he was just like, yeah, if you got to take a nap, you got to take a nap. And then we would just talk about what the next thing was going to be and prep him for it so he could prep her for it. I love that. There is, senior dogs, they get it. They know what they have, and they appreciate it. And they are constantly showing us in so many different ways just how much they appreciate it, and how important the connection is with us, and that they are there for us. So this couldn't be more well-deserved. And I think, I wish he's laying down in that bottom. I mean, that just says it all. They're just like, I'm here for the competition, but when I got to take a nap, I got to take a nap.
Yeah,
That's how we get it.
Yep, so I agree. And I think you mentioned Caden and Willow. Willow's actually 2. She wasn't in our senior division.
Oh, for some reason I thought who was so
no,
it was
do you mean
Nala?
Nala?
Well,
so
no, I
Nala and Cody and Gypsy and Tori were in our senior division.
Oh, I had Tori. Yeah, she's the same thing. She never really napped, but she was also the wise. Like, hey, I'm going to do what I can do, and then I'm going to take a break. So that was pretty cool. For some reason, I thought Willow was in the senior division.
Nope.
But either way, I still say the same thing about them. And she did take a nap.
She did. She knew when she needed to rest. Yes. You're right.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Michelle or Monica or Jake?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Monica.
Okay. I'll just say I have known Jamie and Cody now for a while, and as often happens when I know people over time, we can share some tears over life events. I said for a while I always was making people cry when they came to see me, but it's kind of in those moments of those quiet sessions that I've shared with Jamie and Cody that I really have seen and observed and appreciated the bond, and how their life has changed over the years. Their family has grown, which is a beautiful thing. And Jamie has always been very dedicated to Cody having a beautiful life. So I think they are well deserving. I love the 2 of them.
I agree. Any thoughts, Michelle or Jake?
Yeah, my heart was bursting just watching Jamie and Cody as they went through the different stations. She was so patient and empathetic and loving, and some stations took longer than others, and she would just sit and wait, and she would guide him, and she would, as they went to the next, she would give him a pat or a love or something, and I was like, this is just the most amazing thing to watch, and I was so grateful to be a part of that. I'll call it a show. I know it's not a show, but I'm just grateful to have seen that relationship in that moment. It was really special.
Yeah, agreed. Well said. Jake, I know that Cody wasn't in your parkour competition, but you probably have met Cody before, I can imagine.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in the parkour competition, but I just think it's amazing. So many of our senior dogs, at a certain point, they kind of stop getting to make fun memories. So many of the senior dogs that I've worked with, and it's just amazing to see somebody so dedicated to continuing to make amazing memories with their dog. There's really, in my opinion, nothing more special than a senior dog. So those gray hairs are well earned and well loved. I think it's
absolutely. Yes, I agree. And Jamie did say that this is going to be Cody's last hurrah, because by the next Olympics he'll be too old. But what a way to go out. I mean, this is just such a wonderful dog, such a wonderful team. And it was so great to see Jamie's mom and her son there as well, supporting Cody, really getting into it, cheering him on. I think Cody definitely felt all that love. So that was wonderful to see. So well-deserved to Cody, Team Cody, and his family for this Lifetime Achievement Award. All right. So also want to give a shout out to my husband. He's kind of the silent partner behind everything. He took over 1,600 photos that he has painstakingly gone through and cataloged so that you can all get photos here at some point. Those will be coming. He invests his own time. He invests in his equipment so that he can get all these wonderful photos for the people who come to our events, do these special things with us. He came to events with me. He helped to judge. He carries stuff around. He sets things up, and he does it all for an occasional meal or breakfast out or something like that. So I just want to let him know how much I appreciate all of his help and being a part of making this Olympics run smoothly, as well as all of the adventures we do as an organization. Thank you so much, Ray.
You pay him in Starbucks, right?
Yeah, he does like that, actually. Way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So, all right. So just to let you know what happens next, as I mentioned, we are cataloging the pictures, taking out the stuff that you wouldn't want to download. It's blurry or it's whatever. It's a picture of a thumb or the ground or something like that. There's certainly a couple of those. I took many of those. So we'll weed through those. We'll get them cataloged into the events, and we will share a link with you to download those. So just be patient with us a little bit longer. We'll get you that information. We will email all of the athletes so that you will have that link and you'll be able to access that. There will be a survey coming to both our athletes and our partners, our instructors, our host sites, to get your feedback on what worked, what can we do better so that we can make these events even better in the future. And once all the awards and medals have been ordered from the company we work with, we will let you know, and we will plan an ice cream social. We'll probably have one here around Stratford, Rockingham County, and then we'll probably do one in southern New Hampshire so that we can get everybody together just to talk about all the fun we had with like-minded people, get you your awards, and have a sweet treat as well. So I'll keep everybody updated on that. We're probably going to need 3-ish weeks, I would imagine, just depending on how long it takes the award company to get everything together. Just depends on how backed up they are. Keep you updated. All right. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. So I asked this in 2021. I'm going to ask it again. I'm going to ask it of our judges. I'm going to ask it of our audience. Does anybody have any guesses they would like to submit on who won gold before we reveal? Got any guesses, judges?
Seriously, I have not even a guess.
Right.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So on all the, usually like there's a theme when you go through the individual competition awards, people are just like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be this one, or
I have a guess.
You do?
There's a lot of dogs that definitely deserved it, dogs that I saw, but I think it's Rocky.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
I think that's a huge likelihood.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So let's see here. We've got some guesses. Erica's saying that she thinks it's Rocky as well. Anybody else want to submit some guesses before we reveal, or do you just want me to reveal?
How many events did Rocky do?
He was in 7.
All right.
You
got a formula there, Jake.
Yep. So Kristen is also guessing Rocky. So no guesses for anyone else. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's just reveal it then, I guess. Congratulations to Rocky and Terry. Very well deserved. This,
well earned.
I went into this with no expectations, simply because in 2021, a Basenji took it all. And it was a Basenji with a handler. They had an excellent relationship. This person had taken many training courses, and they came to compete. They knew exactly what they were doing. This was completely different. Terry and Rocky came to have fun.
Yeah.
I think there was no expectation in their mind other than having fun. Terry certainly didn't realize that Rocky would love intro to nose work or maybe do as well as he did in parkour. They came with just a full heart and a desire to just make it a great year. And that's absolutely what they did. Jim, her husband, was involved too. He came to many of the events. Sometimes he was the handler. He looked like he was having a great time as well. It was just really nice to see the three of them working this together, rewarding Rocky, giving him praise, advocating for him whenever necessary. Like if he needed a water break or his stomach seemed like he was upset, they didn't care. They took whatever time was needed to make sure their dog was cared for. And so it does not surprise me that they took this award. So a huge congratulations to them. He won the Shock the Judge Award in 2021, and then he comes back after several years of training. And going to Fun Fitness and going to parkour and doing it over and over simply because of the love and joy of it, to be able to earn this award. So we're so proud of them. Congratulations, and congratulations to all our athletes. A huge thanks to our wonderful judges and instructors and host sites and all of our partners in this. It was a lot of work, and I think our partners would say the same. We did it for the love of dogs. We did it for the love of people. And, when we come to the closing ceremony, it's just so fun to celebrate and commemorate and share the stories with everybody, which I'm so glad that you guys could join me tonight to do that. So congratulations to everybody, and something I might encourage you to think about if you enjoyed the games this year. We are back on a regular schedule of every 2 years now that COVID is behind us. We're potentially considering a 2026 Winter Olympics, which would happen in February, to coincide with the Human Olympics. Is this something you would be interested in? Feel free to comment below, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And if it is something you'd be interested in, what kind of competitions would you potentially recommend or like to see? We'd love to hear your feedback. Again, we'll be asking this information in the survey as well. And obviously our partners would have to be on board with this, so we'll be asking them in their survey as well. But if this is something, if you want to see the same partners involved, if you want some of the same events involved, then get out there and support our partners and go sign up for their classes and their workshops. This is your training for the next 2 years, and show them love, because they work very hard at what they do and they're very passionate about it. And as I mentioned, they gave graciously unbelievable time and expertise to this. And they even went above and beyond that commitment to give feedback and training advice and additional support and resources, emailing pictures to people individually. I mean, this was not expected. This is because this is what our partners do. This is who they are. They go above and beyond. And I'm very passionate about the people that we have brought into our circle. And I want you to be as well. They are so deserving of your time and your investment. So please go and show them the love. So thank you, everybody. So wonderful to have you here with me. I'm glad you guys, thank you for taking almost 2 hours out of your night to join us in such a fun celebration. I appreciate you guys immensely. If I have not told you this enough, I'm telling you again. Really love working with you and all of the people we had involved. So thanks for joining me tonight. Any parting words, guys, before we sign off?
Congratulations, everybody. You did a great job. So proud of all of you.
Oh, I think it's extremely important that we recognize Tracy. And all the amazing work she does, and all this must have taken so much time and energy to put together. And the community you've put together and the passion that you have for all of it, it shines through, and it's amazing. I don't know of another organization quite like this, so that's really cool. So thank you, Tracy.
Yes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that, but I truly am the sum of my parts, and you guys are all wonderful parts of that sum. So thank you, Tracy.
I'm at least happy.
And thank you, everybody. All right, guys, we are signing off. Feel free to leave your additional comments below. And if you're watching on the replay, again, leave your comments. If you have any questions at all, any thoughts, ideas on the February Winter Olympics in 2026, let us know. All right, guys, and have a great evening, and congratulations again.